We are, as I said, very, very privileged to have the senior pastor from the River of Life Church at Slacks Creek to speak about Jan and the gift that she has been given. So I'd like us all to make welcome the senior pastor from River of Life Church, our church, at Slacks Creek, Royree Jensen. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's my joy tonight, Jan, to help to promote, but also to speak about this book and the author. Heaven is all about him. And I love it because, for two reasons. Not only because is there the breath of God blowing on the pages, but I read the back and I feel that it's a tribute to a very dear friend of so many of us here tonight, the late Christine Gear, whom so many of us love. And I see that you mentioned her because she was much of the inspiration behind us. So that makes it very special to so many of us. So thank you for acknowledging that. Well, Jan, congratulations, first and foremost. And we're here to support your success. And we're really, really excited for you. As a pastor, I get excited when the creative juices start to flow for people in our church. Because we keep telling them that God is the creator who created the heavens and the earth. So surely to God, if God is living in us, there should be something a little bit creative in most of us, perhaps, if not all of us. So my task tonight is to just speak a little bit about Jan. And there's some stories I won't tell you, but there's some I will.
Just bleep the rest.
Bleach them. Jan had a very interesting childhood. She and her 4 sisters lived in 3 different countries, in Malaysia and Singapore and Germany. And she's come all the way from Scotland before she made her way here to Australia. But while she was in Scotland, I hear a story that says that one day she and Phil rocked up at Gretna Green to get married at about 14, were you? 12 maybe? Anyway, a young bride who elopes to Gretna Green, where you can get married at a younger age. And so, Phil, it's great that you're here tonight too. And sticking with this chick, you know what I'm saying? And of course their son John. And we've got to know the family and it's really great to have them. Well, Jan is infectious. Not as in a disease. Not as in a disease. But she's infectious. You know, like, she's enthusiastic and she's forever encouraging. She greets us all as we come into church in the morning, and she rushes in sometimes ahead of me to open the door to greet me. So she's just an encourager, and she's amazingly funny. I find that she tickles my sense of humour, especially when I've lost mine at times. And she has a friend called Anastasia, but I'm told that Anastasia is not welcome here tonight. So I'm sad about that. She's in bed. Okay. But there's many of us here who are your friends tonight, so we'll make up for Anastasia. You know, it's good to know the author of a book, because if we know the author, we get past the content of the book and into the intent of the book. And I think the intent of this book was to allow the Spirit of God to flow through Jan onto pages that you and I would read, and then it would dribble into us somehow, which is what has happened. As you pen these words, and so many people here have felt the encouragement of the poems that you've written and the little ditties, and so the intent was great, because our intentions allow God to expand in and through us. And so we appreciate the journey that you have made to go from, no, not me, I couldn't write a book, to a book. You know, that's a big leap. And so we appreciate that because when anybody writes a book, there's a cost. And it's not the cost of the printing place here. And might I add, this is a great place. I've had a number of my little booklets printed here. If you've got any hot stuff on you, bring it in here. They do a good job. You can pay me later, love. But you appreciate the journey when someone has the courage to write from their heart, put it on paper. It is actually a courageous thing to do. I've found that when I've lacked courage, the page has been bland because you don't quite want to say what you're really thinking, lest you be ostracised. But I got over it and said it anyway. But there's a cost, and there's courage, and there's of course the creativity that we see flowing through these pages. And it's like it's the delight of a child at times on the page. And the quirkiness of a teenager, and the wisdom of a mum. And then there's Jan as well. And you'll see God coming through the poetry in a way that will just draw you closer to him. And maybe he'll be speaking specifically to you. You might smile, you might cry, or you might even hear coming off the pages a very cheeky giggle, and that's Jan taking hold of the essence of God and spilling it into your life. And it's just a wonderful thing. It's very free. It's freeing for her, but it's freeing for those of us who read. And so tonight I'd really encourage you to get involved with this book. You know, to not just to read it, because that's a good thing, but you know what, unless a book's read 3 or 4 times as it gets passed around, it loses something. They say that most books are read at least 6 times over before they're off the thing. So, you know, just don't read it, but enter into the intent of the content. And so I'd just really like to encourage you, Jan, to keep the juices flowing, the creative juices flowing. Because the more you stimulate those creative juices, the greater the flow and the more books that are going to come out of you. I just want to say there's a whole lot more books that are going to come. So would you give it up tonight?
And would you please thank Royree also for those beautiful words that she said about how she's preaching. Royree is the senior partner at our church, but I think she's become a very special friend to Jan. And so Royree, thank you so much for speaking tonight. It was great.